The U.S. have won their last 7 Gold Cup quarterfinal matches. They look to extend that streak today. After the break, John Strong and Brad Friedel with the first half call from Baltimore. What's the most awarded car company of the year, ranking from top to bottom?
Luxury cars just seem like they would be top awarded.
Yeah.
There better be some awards behind what you're paying for, right?
The final answer? Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the year.
Really? I just was surprised.
I'm interested to learn more about Chevy.
Let's check out these 2015 Chevys.
It's like a luxury car.
I was shocked. I mean, it's like, this is Chevy?
Is number 1, Brad Guzan.
On a warm and humid afternoon in Baltimore, Maryland, the United States begins phase 2 of their run to the 2015 CONCACAF Gold Cup, trying to secure that much-needed spot in the Confederations Cup in Russia in 2 summers' time. Michael Bradley instead and Captain Jorge Clavello are either side of the referee. As Brad Friedel, we take a look at the U.S. starting lineup.
Yeah, Brad Guzan and goal. You have a familiar backcourt Johnson. Well, not so familiar with Gonzalez and Alvarado. Not playing much together. And Timothy Chandler right back. Kyle Beckerman in as the holding midfielder. You got Alejandro Bedoya and Zardes, and this is where it spices it up for me with Michael Bradley in there, and the link-up play between Clint Dempsey and Aaron Johansson. Johansson have been very impressed with.
Kyle Beckerman, who grew up just about 25 miles down the road in Crofton, Maryland. It is a Cuba team which, as will detail, are without 5 players right now. Apparent defections, 2 others are injured. Who do they have in the lineup?
Well, I think Guerra, the goalkeeper, is going to be a busy boy, as are Napoles, Porta, Dizpe, and Vaquero. Going into the midfield, Clavello and Luis are going to have to be that cover for their back 4. And they're going to have to try to get something on the counter-attack against this United States team with Corrales, Gomez, Perez. And their best player, really, Reyes up front. Will he be just a lone figure up there on his own?
Let's take a look now at our keys to the game, sponsored by Chevrolet. Brad, what's on your mind?
Well, the USA, I think you got to think quick, start quick, play quick, try to suffocate this Cuban team into defending deep. For Cuba, on the other hand, they need to get to halftime with something to play for. Maybe a draw, only being down a goal, try to frustrate this United States attack and then counter on them, which this United States team has been prone to.
Underway in Baltimore, the United States in white, Cuba in red. A spot in Wednesday night's semifinal in Atlanta is on the line. First of a doubleheader here at M&T Bank Stadium. Haiti against Jamaica later on this evening. And a pair of quarterfinals in a doubleheader tomorrow in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Alvarado's pass a bit under hit for Fabian Johnson. Liban Perez running forward. Inside now for Alberto Gomez, and that ball's going to be too far for Jorge Corrales. Brad Guzan's first touch of the game. An error ball out of the back that Bradley is trying to take back, and he can't. Michael Reyes, who scored that all-important goal against Guatemala, has it taken away. Beckerman can't get it back off Gomez. Corrales now for Cuba. Timmy Chandler defending him. From Zardes, dropped off for Napoles. His cross in now. And just enough in the end from Alejandro Bedoya tracking back to just shepherd off Daniel Luis. But this is all Cuba in the opening seconds. Give away there to Bedoya. Now Dempsey. Aaron Johansson, Michael Bradley. Dempsey then fouled. And the referee was going to play advantage. Does blow it dead. Jurgen Klinsmann there told us that Cuba will bunker more than any team that they have faced. So we have to make them run, and we have to take advantage of our opportunities. Pointed out to them the fact the last time these 2 teams played 2 years ago in the Gold Cup, Cuba had the lead until late in the first half.
You're absolutely right. Jurgen Klinsmann wanted to get off to the quickest of starts. You can see Michael Bradley's trying to do that. The first couple passes out of the back didn't pan out that way.
Bedoya was off the thigh of the defender just beyond Dempsey. Beckerman holds it in.
But you can see, John, this Cuban team, they are going to defend deep. Very important that Timothy Chandler and Fabian Johnson get forward as much as possible. One of the best ways to attack a deep line defense is down the flanks.
Omar Gonzalez came all the way up to the front line there in that last possession. Clivello takes it away, rolls it ahead for Michael Reyes. Alvarado is shadowing him. Able to poke it away. American Outlaws doing their best to try to get the atmosphere going. It's not anywhere near the 70,000 that were here 2 years ago for the quarterfinal against El Salvador. A lot of them are in this very hot sun, and then they watch Cuba on the attack in the opening moments. As we take a look at the current conditions, you see the heat index not as bad as it was a few nights ago in Kansas City, but direct sunlight will have its toll. Beckerman trying to find Fabian Johnson, drops it over the top, well brought down. Johnson central, Dempsey. It's going to fall for Zardes on the far side. Support from Timmy Chandler now. Chandler's cross lifted in for Dempsey in the opening goal. He just keeps scoring in this Gold Cup, and it is the start that Jurgen Klinsmann wanted. 1-0 to the U.S.
Well, exactly what Jurgen Klinsmann wanted to see. First, Fabian Johnson gets forward, then Timothy Chandler gets forward, crosses in a lofted ball, not much pace on it, but finds Clint Dempsey, who makes no mistake with the header. 1-0 United States. This could be a very long evening for this Cuban team.
Well, he has come up big in tough moments. Scored the first 3 goals of this tournament for the U.S. Now 4, takes them ahead of Mexico's Arriba Peralta for the tournament lead. One closer to Landon Donovan for that United States record. And of those 45, the third that he has scored against Cuba, including a decade ago in the Gold Cup.
Jurgen Klinsmann said again, John, yesterday in the press conference that he wanted Clint to set himself goals, and it looks like he's doing that 4 already in this competition.
Johnson off of Chandler's ball, a touch off for Zardes, shouldered off it by Jorge Clivello. Clivello rolled into space now. That's Liban Perez, his cross. And back to his hand, battling that son, able to grab it. Fabian Johnson, 3 red shirts immediately crowding him out as he came inside. And it's out for a U.S. throw. Johnson chipped ahead. That's not going to find Dempsey. Clearance only as far as Michael Bradley. Gonzalez is in the place of the suspended John Brooks just up the road from where he went to college at the University of Maryland. Bedoya knocked away by Adrian Dispe, cleaned up by Gonzalez.
Well, John, right now this is like a training exercise. The Cuban team has been sapped of any kind of confidence they may have had. As long as the United States does not get complacent and they keep going forward, I don't see any problem for this United States team today.
Bradley trying to find Bedoya. Controlled by Andy Vaquero. Cuba in their opener were beaten 6-0 by Mexico. It matched their biggest ever loss at a Gold Cup. In a game when that man wasn't even there. Raul Gonzalez, the coach at his 3rd Gold Cup. He and 6 of his players were stuck trying to get into the country. They had been at Olympic qualifying in Antigua and Barbuda. They had delays then getting out of there, getting their visas to come into the U.S. And that was before they lost what is now 5 players to apparent defections. Two of them have actually given interviews to Spanish language media talking about it.
And Marquez as well, a big miss. Assuming he's injured, didn't see him warming up. Martinez, a big miss. Must be really difficult if you're the coach or staff member for this Cuban team.
Yenier Marquez, their captain, who's at his 7th Gold Cup. Vastly experienced player. We saw him come off the bus, didn't notice anything different about him, but he's not in the lineup. He didn't warm up. Beckerman steps in to knock it away. Well, let's get the inside word now with Julie Stewart-Binks, powered by 7-Up. Julie, how was this matched up to what Jurgen Klinsmann told us he wanted out of the start today?
Well, John, first of all, Alejandro Bedoya told us that if the team wants a faster start, the onus is on each individual player. It's not enough to just come in at the half and think that you're going to start the game. Jurgen Klinsmann told us it's something he encourages the players to know. They're in the driver's seat, saying, don't look to the bench to find out what you need to do. You have all the information. This is your responsibility, and it seems as though they're taking it to heart early.
Well, there is Bedoya at the end of a great ball from Beckerman. Bedoya's cross. Johansson, it was blocked. Dempsey trying to get there. That was Angel Horta defending. And it's cleared away by Nápoles. Johansson able to turn. Marquez backing off. Bedoya crossing in. Under hit for Dempsey. Gives a thumbs up to it. His header onto the top of the box. Dempsey still battling, trying to force it free for Zardes. Can't do so. Pressure from Chandler to win it back. Chandler tackle off it by Clavello. And it's going to be a whistle and a handball against Timmy Chandler landing on the ball.
Not sure about that one, John. I think he clipped his feet there. A little bit harsh on Timothy Chandler. Really like Aaron Johansson getting in those pockets, though. Always looking on the half turn to get forward.
Clavello to the feet now. Roberto Gomez. Chandler had to get the foot in as Corrales is making the run. It's a good ball in the end for Aaron Johansson. He's got Zardes charging up the right. Dempsey's in the box. Zardes, not the best first touch, and he can't get across away in play, out for a goal kick.
Not touch let him down there. Not often you see that from Zardes. Here's the goal. Nice little lofted ball in. Clint Dempsey makes no mistake with his run, just gets in between the 2 defenders. Goalkeeper takes a step forward. Not sure he would have saved it anyways.
Well, he had a run of 4 straight appearances for the United States with a goal ended when he came on as a halftime substitute against Panama. So it's now 5 out of 6 U.S. games for Clint Dempsey with a goal. Chandler long. Johansson able to get to it. Horta intercepts. Luis in the turn inside. Tackled off the ball by Beckerman. Able to get back to his feet and recontrol. That was almost intercepted by Bedoya. Bradley's touch. Dempsey picks it up. Poked away. Adrian Tispe, and a chance for Alberto Gomez to run the other way. Early ball from Michael Reyes, trying to get it behind Alvarado. Suzanne is there in time.
Well, that's been the one way that teams have been getting at this United States defense, by winning the ball in midfield and then countering quickly. I just don't see any dynamic runs, any quick runs, any runs of purpose going forward. United States able to deal with them all so far.
Johansson takes the bump, gets it away for Fabian Johnson. He cuts inside the back heel, intercepted. Ruben Perez tracking back. Perez wrong side of Reyes with the pass. Johansson for Bradley. And right into Corrales, able to keep it. Aaron Johansson looking to scoop it ahead. In for Michael Bradley. He couldn't bring it under control.
Aaron Johansson adds that little bit of unpredictability there. You never know what he's going to do.
And it's his opportunity. As we talked about in the pregame,
There it is.
Josie Altidore.
Nice little scoop pass there. Michael Bradley with a very clever run.
Johansson, who had a great finish to the season with AZ Alkmaar in the Netherlands. Bradley under pressure, able to keep it. Dempsey, no-look touch. Aaron Johansson, but only making the run. Johansson didn't see him. That's a foul committed by Anel Orta.
Said before the game, John, I wanted to see the link-up play with Dempsey, Johansson, Bradley, Zardes, Bedoya, and it's causing a lot of problems for this Cuban defense.
Taking quick and wide. Fabian Johnson looking in the cross. Zardes attacking. 2-0. Second goal for the United States for Josie Zardes.
Second goal for the United States. Second cross from one of the fullbacks. Another well-timed run. You have to ask a lot of questions about the marking, but Zardes makes no mistake at the end. 2-0. Jurgen Klinsmann will be delighted with this start. The United States on their way to the semifinals, I think, John.
Well, these American fans, they've been wanting a blowout. They've been wanting a big scoreline. The type of scoreline that Mexico got in their opener, have struggled to do so since, of course. And they might well be getting it today. And for Josie Zardes, the 23-year-old from Los Angeles, young LA Galaxy star, 12 appearances now for his country, all coming in this calendar year. 2 goals and 3 assists. Playing both as the side of a midfield diamond as well as a forward.
We've yet to see the United States put 2 halves together. Maybe this will be the first one.
Jorge Corrales now for Cuba. Timmy Chandler defending him as Corrales cuts inside. Drops off for Gomez. Michael Bradley tracking back. Eckerman almost lost his footing there.
This is when no matter what the scoreline is, the United States has to stay focused. Keep doing what they need to do. If it becomes a blowout, so be it.
Levon Perez. Cross is blocked by Fabian Johnson. Bedoya picks it up. Well, these U.S. players in the group stage, they were all saying, yeah, we know we have things to improve upon, but all we care about is the result. We're getting the result. You've been on these teams, Brad. Is it a big deal to have one where you can really put a lot of goals on someone, flex your muscles?
Especially for the strikers. Yeah, it is, because goals and wins breeds confidence. The United States can come out of this 4, 5, 6 goals, maybe equaling or bettering what Mexico did. It'll bode well for them.
Gonzalez long ball for his LA Galaxy teammate Zardes, who's able to control it. Zardes coming in, plenty of options. Johansson near post, smothered up by the goalkeeper Dios Felizquera.
It was a very good ball, just eluding the left back. Zardes with a good touch this time. Oh, he probably just misses the correct pass. Decision-making. Clint Dempsey was all alone around the penalty spot.
Alberto Gomez now. Cuba counterattack. Ruiz's cross is blocked. Ventura Alvarado. Josie Zardes, who set a record for a homegrown player in MLS last year with the LA Galaxy, scoring 16 goals. And of course, he's going to return to a Galaxy team. We saw Steven Gerrard, really impressive debut. Giovanni Dos Santos coming in.
Starting to look very strong, the Los Angeles Galaxy indeed. And Zardes and Johansson, for me, in these first 3.25 games or whatever have been the ones that have impressed me the most on this U.S. team.
Johansson, that was well read. Danielle Luis to take it away.
As Johansson gives the ball away.
Vaquero's long switch. He's got Napoles, the left back, making a long run forward. It's able to stay in play. Napoles cuts it back. Reyes heavy first touch out for a goal kick. Once again, we get the inside word from Julie Stewart-Binks. Getting hot down there, Julie.
Yeah, well, John, I just heard from the CONCACAF officials that there will be a water break at the 30-minute mark for 1 to 3 minutes. It will come off of a throw-in, not a set piece, and my thermometer down here reads 95 degrees, so it certainly is needed for the players.
You bought that in Edmonton. It's gotten a lot of work since. That thermometer. Clipped ahead by Omar Gonzalez. Nortza clears. It's going to be a foul there as Zardes was being pulled. I wonder the number of games you played in, Brad, that could have had hydration breaks. That
should have had hydration breaks. I'm still not sure it would have worked. My skin's not really the type that likes the hot, humid, burning sun.
That's Michael Bradley now with his free kick. Center backs have come forward. Bradley deep to the back post, past everyone and out. Will be a long 70 minutes for Cuba, as you talked about, and they suffered through it in the first game against Mexico. They were really pleased. Not just, obviously, they beat Guatemala, they qualified, but Coach Raul Gonzalez saying that was more what we wanted to do in this tournament, that type of performance, that type of team.
Absolutely. When you play against teams that you know are better than you, you have to hope that they have an off day and that you have a really good day. And they would have come out and they would have wanted the first 10, 15 minutes to go their way. Like I said before the game, have something to hold on to at halftime. And when the United States started the way they have, it just takes all the energy out of you. Really difficult to come back from.
It's not off Bedoya for a Cuba throw. There's Raul Gonzalez, his third Gold Cup in charge. He was also coach of the team that 2 years ago got to the Under-20 World Cup for the very first time coming out of Cuba. And a handful of those players are on this roster, including Michael Reyes, who scored the winning goal Wednesday night against Guatemala. We talked yesterday about this being a really good moment for soccer in Cuba. The popularity of the game is growing. That was a big takeaway. If you saw that friendly against the New York Cosmos they played in June, and the big crowd there, where it's very much been a baseball country. We talked about all the young players coming up from that U20 team. They've got a team at the Pan American Games right now, Olympic qualifying. For a second straight time, and the third time in their history, they're in the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup. Bradley able to keep it on Clavello.
I think it was the first time, John, that they spoke about players playing outside of Cuba.
And that might be a big difference going forward.
Absolutely would be.
It was something that Raul Gonzalez, as he was tiring of questions about the defections they've had, he was asked that as a potential for players to come play maybe in MLS. And he said, I hope so.
He said he hopes so. Still a long way to go, but he hopes so now. It's the first time that any Cuban coach has come out and said that. But if you get your players into better leagues and in better environments, they're only going to do one thing, and that's improve.
They're up for Reyes. And it's going to be a U.S. throw. Not all good for Cuba. Amongst the downsides right now for them is the fact they're actually already out of contention for the World Cup in Russia. They lost a qualifying series against Curacao and away goals in June. You see the number of goals they have conceded in this tournament. The worst goal differential ever for a team that qualify to the knockout stage of a Gold Cup. Dempsey opening it up. Fabian Johnson, foot race to the sideline, and he will lose. Pay able to drop it in. On Perez, he goes down in a heap. He's the player in for Ariel Martinez, who had started the first 3 games, maybe their best player, who after the game Wednesday night against Guatemala was seen running away from the bus into the darkness with tears coming down his cheek. Now 5 players who have left the team since they arrived in the U.S. And Reyes is offside.
And it's something that you and I just will never have the feeling of. And can you imagine being the coaching staff in the morning, having to get all the players up for the training sessions and get them prepared for a game? I think just offsides, half step, linesman got that right. I think most of the coaching staff's job must just be with the mental aspects of this Cuban team.
Well, and it's something our contributor Grant Wall, who you saw in the pregame, made a very good point about. It's easy for us to sort of be flippant. Oh, here's Cuba again, and players are defecting, and we're counting players coming off the bus. But each one of those 5 has a human story behind it, a very significant one, a very emotional one. Whistle behind the play. It's Daniel Luis who's down. One of those players from the Under-20 World Cup 2 years ago. Here's why.
Well, Kyle Beckerman doesn't even touch him, so I don't know. He's gotten the ball there. That could maybe be muscular. Never know. Definitely no malice in it.
Look back at the second goal.
Well, exactly what Jurgen Klinsmann wanted. He wanted his fullbacks to get high. Second cross in the box, this time from Fabian Johnson. Good run by Zardes. Very good finish. I think we can critique the defending all we want, but take nothing away from the cross and the run.
Well, and he's so easy to pick out, obviously, with the big shock of blonde hair. Very much by design, Jossie Zardes. He says he does that so that his grandmother can pick him out on the field. Used to be watching him in person, now watching on TV, and he said it will always stay that way for that reason. And here he is on the ball again. It for a moment, and the whistle is going to go for a foul. Bejarano of Costa Rica, who's our referee today. Quickly back in play, Bedoya. Good touch to control. It's a bit too far for Dempsey, though. He slides to keep it in for Beckerman. Back for Bedoya, had to wait for it. Forced to cycle around. Bedoya still, and tackle off it. Levon Perez. Spell of possession, give themselves a breather, try to generate some sort of attack. Nutmeg on Bedoya. There's the pass from Vaquero. There's his long switch. Corrales brings it down. Takes a touch inside of Zardes. Trying to spin it back. Trying to caught the spokes.
There's no urgency to the Cuban attacks whatsoever. The United States players getting back bigger, stronger, quicker, more energy. They'll have the opportunity here in the next 10-15 minutes to really kill this game off.
On a warm day here in Baltimore, Maryland, the United States already 2 goals to the good, trying to reach another semifinal of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Trying to defend their title. Trying to earn a spot in the Confederations Cup in 2 summers' time in Russia. We take a look at our scoring summary. Powered by 7-Up, just over 3 minutes in. Clint Dempsey continuing his charge at the U.S. goal scoring record. Jossie Zardes adding one more in the 15th minute. And the U.S. has been in cruise control since. Winner of this game to take on the winner of this evening's quarterfinal here in Baltimore between Haiti and Jamaica. And you can see at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 2.
Jurgen Klinsmann won't want to hear that word, John. Cruise control. Doesn't want his players to keep the foot on the gas.
Corrales cutting inside, takes the shot. First attempt at goal of the day for Cuba, but it's well wide.
Well, it was a 1v1. Johnson sits off just a little bit. Shot is not in trouble. Brad Guzan, who's only touched the ball 2 or 3 times. Your job as a goalkeeper in a game like this, communicate, keep the players lively, keep them alert. Don't let them be complacent.
Omar Gonzalez takes it forward. Bradley now looking to get Dempsey over the top, brings it down. Bedoya is there, flags up for offside. Bedoya not happy. Jurgen Klinsmann doesn't seem too fazed by it all.
Not at this juncture. Maybe if Cuba gets a goal, then he might stand up a little bit. I think he's going to be very pleased with what he's seen so far.
Eli Herzog on his right. Ramos there as well. Amongst the coaching staff for the U.S. break. Vision by Beckerman for Bradley. The early ball. Clint Dempsey. Johansson in the box. Dempsey looking to cut it back. Clint Dempsey blocked by the traffic. Johansson picks it up. Johansson. Zardes. His shot is blocked as well. Cuba able to get numbers back behind there. And now trying to build a counter. Daniel Luis. Eckerman chasing him. Across now for Alberto Gomez. Stood up was Levon Perez, and the U.S. have it back. Zardes' touch, it's going to be too far for Timmy Chandler to chase down.
Unlike the first halves of the group stage games, the United States didn't win the transition games, especially when they lost the ball in the midfield. This one, they're well on top in the transition game.
Reyes the target there. I thought the assistant was suggesting that he would have raised his flag for offside had it become necessary. Bradley early ball. Aaron Johansson there. Johansson is onside. Goalkeeper is out. Wonderful. Sensational from Aaron Johansson. 3-0 to the United States.
Well, what do good strikers do? They play right on the shoulder, in between the 2 central defenders. Times his run to perfection. Great ball by Michael Bradley. Goalkeeper makes a mistake coming out. Very good touch. And a little dink over the goalkeeper's head. Quality goal, quality run, quality pass. 3-0 United States.
Fourth goal for Aaron Johansson on his 15th appearance. His first since the friendly with Denmark back in March, and it precipitates the hydration break here in warm and muggy Baltimore. That's a good punctuation mark for the U.S. at 3-0 up. Well, we also have Dr. Joe Machnik, our former FIFA match commissioner, who's with us in the booth. And what can you tell us about the procedure for this? And it was interesting, too, because it wasn't announced before the game. It seemed like it was something as the half went on they decided to do.
Well, FIFA first authorized referees to give a water break at in major tournaments in Brazil at the World Cup 2014, where the temperatures were often as warm as it is today. But it's not only the temperature that is a factor. FIFA uses a gauge called the wet bulb globe temperature, which is a combination of the actual temperature, humidity, the angle of the sun, wind speed, and cloud cover. And when that temperature is above 90 degrees, the referee is authorized to give the water break anytime at a stoppage in play after the 30-minute mark of each half. We're probably going to see a second water break in the second half.
And Brad, in some ways it seems like a no-brainer to do it. Soccer purists are worried about, does this give, like Gus Hiddink said, sort of a timeout, an opportunity to do tactical changes? What's your opinion?
Well, I think when the games are closer, I don't think it's a problem at all. And there is health and safety attached to it. And the water breaks will go very quickly. There were a couple during the World Cup that you didn't even realize that they occurred. I'm all for it. I don't think it's a problem or a hindrance at all.
And this is quickly back underway. With the U.S. in an opportunity to really run away with this thing. Bedoya intercepts early ball. Aaron Johansson running. Dempsey in the center at a canter. Johansson trying to outrun Dispay, who steps in the last moment. Referee thinking about it, elects to play on. Good step by Alvarado to win it back. Bedoya for Bradley. Chased backwards by Clavello. Not too far for Timmy Chandler.
Well, if it's 0-0, does he give that as a penalty? Very good skill by Johansson. Probably just touches the ball. Yeah, very good tackle. Very good refereeing. I was wrong, John.
Adrian Dispay, 21 years old. One of the young core of this Cuba team. Getting that tackle exactly right, in the opinion of referee Henry Bejarano. And this is a foul in the middle for Cuba. There's back for Clavello. Beckerman harassing him as it comes across. Randy Vaquero scored the lone goal for Cuba, and they're friendly with the New York Cosmos of NASL back in June. Flipped ahead by Luis Guzan, out to get it. What do you want to see from the U.S. final 10 minutes of this first half?
More of the same. Don't get complacent. Keep the high tempo up. Try to score as many goals as you possibly can. Keep the confidence going high. And the Cuban team, they're going to need something. They're going to try to have to get a goal from somewhere. They're going to have to try to gain confidence from somewhere. Goals do change games, as we know. That famous cliche. If they get to 3-1, will they just up their tempo a little bit? But it's up to the United States not to let that happen.
Hit that pass, but it does just sneak through to Fabian Johnson. Options either side, setting up Alejandro Bedoya. Bedoya's cross and the ground intercepted by Luis. Clearance straight out for a U.S. throw. Bradley cuts inside. Bradley to the byline. Dispay again there with the tackle. It's going to be Aronson out.
You can't help but think, John, if Marquez was playing, the two lofted balls in the box, would he have dealt with them? Missing so many players.
Five who apparently defected, 2 unavailable through injury, including Yenier Marquez, who's played over 100 times for Cuba. A number of them against the U.S. at the Gold Cup. And he talked with optimism yesterday at the press conference about how much better this group looked, how much more contribution they were getting from young players than ever before. Omar Gonzalez for the U.S. threaded in for Johansson. Dumped to the turf by Anel Orta.
And I would agree with them on those points, but when you come up against the United States or a Mexico in this region and you catch them on a very good day, very difficult for a team like Cuba to beat them.
Good work by Fabian Johnson there, although it's taken straight back by Jorge Corrales. Chandler's pressure on Levon Perez, who's able to keep it. And as much as you said, Brad, if you're the U.S., you want to score as many as you can. Are you kind of happy enough just to let Cuba knock it around in this way?
Well, you have to take rest at certain times of the game. And maybe this is one of those times. 38th minute, you're up 3-0. You've already expended a lot of energy in the hot sun. So if you do that for 30 seconds or a minute, that's not a bad thing. But then you have to pick the tempo up right away again. That word complacent comes back. You can't get complacent.
Levon Perez in the ball for Cuba. Early in for Michael Reyes. Omar Gonzalez there defending. Reyes looking to cut it back. He's got an option top of the box. The shot in the end was harmless from Gomez. It was Corrales making the run. And Gomez almost took it away from his teammate.
It was a good play by Cuba. I took it off his player. Possibly first time strike. If he steps over it, just scuffs it a little bit safely into Brad Guzan's hands.
As you were in the process of saying, a good reminder for the U.S. not to be complacent.
Absolutely. I mean, this Cuban team, the way the game has gone, probably shouldn't get too many attempts at the United States goal. But if you do relax at the wrong time, anyone could go down and have an attempt.
Zardes beaten to that ball by Napoles. Clavello now ahead. It's Daniel Luis. And just bizarrely miscontrolled by Andy Vaquero. Raul Gonzalez, his coach, unimpressed. It's through almost for Johansson as two Cuban players collide. And it's going to be whistling a foul, actually, for Johansson coming in the back of Jorge Clavello. As we're inside the final 5 minutes of this first half.
Yeah, probably just a foul. Knew what he was doing, going to try to just nudge him off the ball, let it run.
Clavello under pressure from Beckerman. Able to get it away. Jorge Corrales. Running forward at Fabian Johnson. Bedoya helping as well. Vaquero hooks in the cross. Reyes up with the header. Couldn't get it on target, but another attempt for Cuba.
Well, this is two attacks now in the last 2 minutes. Fabian Johnson not getting tight enough, allowing the cross to go in the box. The little details Jurgen Klinsmann will still want to be done.
Reyes, who didn't play in the opener, he was one of the players that was stuck trying to get into the country with visa issues. Started the last two. Scored the goal that got them to this place in the quarterfinal. Scored their only goal at that Under-20 World Cup, their first ever appearance 2 years ago. 22 years old, very much a player on the rise in Cuban soccer. Bradley over the top. Johansson not going to get there. Luis Velisquera alert off his line.
Nearly identical to the third goal, just on the other side of the field.
Across for Vaquero. Inside now for Corrales. Thinking about the shot perhaps. In for Gomez. He goes down in a heap. Referee unimpressed. Bradley checks over his shoulder. Now we'll play long for José Zardes. Zardes able to get there. Early cross for Dempsey. Oh, he's going for goal. He saw the keeper off his line. Over the bar in the end.
tackle. Another well-timed run by Zardes. Good ball by Michael Bradley. The goalkeeper makes the same mistake that he had just made on the third goal. Gets himself into no man land. Little bit better execution, and that would have been 4-0 to the U.S.
I was trying to copy what Aaron Johansson did about 10 minutes ago. Alvarado wins the header. Straight to Clavello. Reyes fouled by Alvarado. And a set-piece chance first today in attacking position for Cuba.
Well, it's probably first mistake Alvarado made today. No need to go to ground there. Just stand up and force the player to go backwards. He's facing his own goal.
An opportunity to bring bodies forward. That's exactly what they're doing. Jorge Corrales is over it. Plays for Pinar del Rio, the same club that Osvaldo Alonso of the Seattle Sounders started his career with. And it's Corrales who hooks this in deep to the back post. A little bit of contact there, half-hearted penalty appeal from a couple of Cuban players against Timmy Chandler, but it's out for a goal kick. Manuel Orta, the man who's up for it.
Well, I think they're just trying to, again, get that one little thing to cling on to. Possibly trying to con the referee into giving a penalty. The referee did well.
Good work by Bedoya. Headed back into a dangerous area. Dempsey trying to get in there. Last moment tackle from Orta. That was Napoles there. Put his defenders in a bad position. Bedoya cuts to the byline. Vaquero slides into tackle. Corner for the U.S., their first of the game.
Jurgen Klinsmann said he likes his team on set pieces.
Chance to add a fourth before the break. Gonzalez and Alvarado up for the back line. We see Michael Bradley goal for goal from these types of positions. He hooks this into the back post, headed right in front. Gonzalez is there. It is the fourth goal. It was Johansson who kept it in play. It's a first goal for the United States for Omar Gonzalez, and a punctuation mark to a big first half for the U.S. over Cuba.
Well, Jurgen Klinsmann said he likes his team on offensive attacking set pieces, and that's why. Ball swung in, Aaron Johansson keeps it alive. Omar Gonzalez loses his marker, 4-0.
Now, good work by Johansson to keep that in play. Alert from Gonzalez. Won a national title with the Maryland Terrapins just down the road from here. He's become such a big part of what the LA Galaxy are doing. 3 MLS Cups that he has won in 7 years with them. Gets the opportunity to start in for the suspended John Brooks. And something Klinsmann has talked about, a real legitimate competition for places.
Absolutely. Also mentioned Tim Reeves right in there as well. And he's happy with playing any of them, which is great for any team. You always want the competition for places.
Halfway through the 2-minute stoppage time and the watch of referee Henry Bejarano. Chance on a free kick here right before the half as Limon Perez goes down.
Another silly foul, John. There's no need for it. Just stay on your feet. Cuban player can't beat Timothy Chandler one-on-one there.
Andy Vaquero to take. Should be the last chance of this first half. Vaquero's ball into the near post, and Guzan able to smother it. Dizpe was closest to it. And that'll be the end of a massive catharsis of a first half as much as anything else. Early goal from Clint Dempsey got things going. Josty Zardes Aaron Johansson, and Omar Gonzalez finishing it off.
Set for second half kickoff, and the U.S. making a pair of subs. Joe Corona coming on, Brad Evans as well for the U.S. And for the second half call, we get it back out to Baltimore, John Strong and Brad Friedel.
Yeah, Rob, Joe Corona, one of the 3 changes to the roster. Jurgen Klinsmann made it after the group stage. Corona, who's going to be on his way on loan to Veracruz for the coming Liga MX season. Having been with Tijuana the last 6 seasons, it'll be his 16th appearance for the United States. He scored the game winner in this stadium against El Salvador in the quarterfinal 2 years ago. His only other goal for the U.S. in that same Gold Cup 2 years ago, the game winner against Cuba. Second half underway here at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, on a warm, muggy afternoon. The U.S. comfortably in front, 4-0, with the opportunity to approach some team records if they continue the goal scoring in the second half. Cuba right now trying to finish out strong. Their second straight appearance in the knockout stage at a Gold Cup. And so we've seen the changes now. Brad, how are the puzzle pieces all fitting together for the U.S.?
Well, I think bringing on Brad Evans is very good for team spirit, team morale, and for Brad himself. Timothy Chandler wasn't really tested. Again, he's coming off of being on vacation from a long Bundesliga season. With Corona, it's a chance to bring him in. You're up 4-0, give him some minutes, make him feel part of this tournament. So I would have to agree with both the substitutions. I don't think Jurgen could have made any wrong substitutions at this point.
And it looks like both are straight swaps. Evans at right back and Corona in that holding spot, vacated by Kyle Beckerman. Here he is on the ball now. Dempsey, Johansson. This is more of what Jurgen Klinsmann wanted, the close passing combinations. Clavello able to knock it away from Corona, but Zardes wins it back. Cross for Bedoya, down off the chest for Bradley. Bedoya fakes the cross, now plays it and intercepted by Adrian Dispay. Drifting forward now is Jorge Corrales. Corona able to win it back. Evans desperately wants this ball to the right. He has it now from Gonzalez. He's got Zardes short inside. That ball's going to find Dempsey. Dempsey pushed off it. Free kick for the U.S. just outside the box.
Well, Brad Evans immediately making an impact. Gets a cross into the box. Clint Dempsey strong. Holds off the defender. Not sure it was much of a foul, but the referee thought so. Free kick in a very dangerous area for the United States.
And a big discussion upcoming of who's going to take this one. Johnson, Dempsey, and Bradley.
There's going to be a fight on as it's 4-0.
Insert your own captions there, and 4-0 already.
This is where a little bit of greed might come in.
So who has seniority? Is it your leading scorer, Dempsey? Is it your captain, Bradley?
I've always lived by it's the captain who makes the decision unless you have one distinct player who takes all the free kicks.
Tios Felix-Guerra, the Cuban goalkeeper, meanwhile. Johnson has walked away. Bradley and Dempsey both coming up and resetting the ball, getting their footing. See a couple of the U.S. players, including Johansson, trying to wedge open a spot in that wall. It'll be Bradley, up and out. Let's get the inside word with Julie Stewart-Bings, powered by 7-Up. What Jurgen Klinsmann tell you?
Well, of course, John, Jurgen was very positive about his team in the first half. He said they did everything he wanted them to see. Early goals, good rhythm, tempo, and he believes now that they are the best team in this tournament. But he acknowledged that his team was hitting a wall with the heat near the end of that first half, and as Brad had said before, becoming complacent. The reason why he made these 2 substitutions, Timmy Chandler is dealing with a knee issue, and he does not want to provoke it, and he wanted to get Joe Corona in just to get some minutes and to get into this tournament.
Early ball for Reyes. Guzan alertly off his line. Reminder there of the complacency issue as Cuba trying to come forward and grab a goal.
Well, I have to say it, John, that's good goalkeeping by Brad Guzan. These are the hardest games to play in for a goalkeeper. Sometimes it's a lot easier when the ball's in front of you all the time and you have to making save after save after save. When you don't see the ball for a vast majority of the game, sometimes 10, 15 minutes at a time, your concentration levels have to be so high.
Guzan once again, the #1 in this tournament. Got the shutout against Haiti. And a number of fine saves really in every game. Liban Perez now for Cuba. Evans shadowing him. It's in between him and the ball. Lovely back heel for Zardes. Although his pass intercepted. Napolis. Reyes trying to hold it up. Zardes helps clean it up. Omar Gonzalez under pressure. Dribbles right back into the pressure. Michael Reyes. Cutting it back. Another little move. Zardes helping. Guzan gets it away. There's a defensive touch. It fell to the feet of Clint Dempsey. Johansson in the center. Dempsey looking to cut it back again. Dispay just got a foot in to knock it away. Bradley, a little chip ahead. Johansson couldn't control it. Lavello on the turn. Aaron pass into the center. Zardes there to clean it up. Chipped ahead for Bradley. Leaves it for Zardes. Corona in there with him as well. Bedoya instead. Dempsey cuts it back. Bedoya picks it up. Johansson has it now. Johansson to the byline and behind for the second corner of the game for the U.S. And Adrian Dispay is down.
Well, Cuba was not able to capitalize on an errant pass from the United States and counter quickly. They gave possession back to the U.S. Decent little passage of play up the left-hand side results in a United States corner. A possible injured player. Looks like he's up and okay. But what Honduras and Haiti and Panama were able to do was win that ball in the midfield and then counter quickly towards this United States team. This Cuba team just doesn't possess that quality.
U.S. scored off their previous corner. Bradley again deep to the back post. Dempsey up for it. It's knocked down. And Guerra able to smother it up.
Well, another ball by Michael Bradley to the far post. Clint Dempsey's up over his defender. Goalkeeper gets himself a little bit in no man's land. The ball hits him, fortunately for him, right on the thigh, and he smothers it after.
Second save for Tios Felisquera, the Cuba goalkeeper. 17 saves in the 3 group stage games. Evans coming in the foul there.
Brad Evans just going through the back of Reyes' left leg. Really no need again. No harm at midfield. No need to come through the back of the player. He's going to go nowhere. We saw Chandler do it. We saw Alvarado do it.
Evans intercepts that ball though. Corona coming forward. Poked away from behind. Daniel Luis able to keep it. Rolled in now for Reyes. Lovely move around Alvarado. Michael Reyes opening it up. Liban Perez. Perez recenters. Falling to Johnson. Goes to ground to knock it away. Zardes controls. Lifted ahead for Alejandro Bedoya. Dempsey making a run. Too far for him. Dispay takes it away. Kind of chip it ahead to himself, and he wins the foul. Something we were talking about at halftime, Brad. you're inevitably seeing just some of the reaction on social media. It's Cuba. Whatever. But the question is, for these players, if it was 1-0 right now, we'd be crushing the U.S. for only being 1 goal up. In the minds of these players, is it, hey, it's 4-0, we don't care?
No international game, no professional game is easy. So you have to go out and earn the right to win, earn the right to play the way that you want to do. And the United States started the game off well, and they killed the confidence, any confidence this Cuban team would have possessed at the beginning of the game. And they've done everything right in that first half. But you're absolutely right. Just because it's Cuba.
Well, here's Bedoya from Dempsey. Bedoya to the byline. The cross is blocked by Vaquero.
But just because it's Cuba doesn't mean that we have a right to come out and win 5-6-7-0. Every game is difficult, and you have to win it on its own merits.
And the Cubans, once again, coming forward. They haven't quit. In for Gomez. Back out for Luis. Luis once again. The play all the way across. And it's going to be out in the end for a goal kick as Michael Reyes couldn't hold it up. They have one of the 4 field players available as a substitute because of defections and injury. Armando Coronel. Bedoya in for Zardes. Back for Bradley. Again Bedoya. Dempsey with his hand up calling for the cross. Couldn't do anything with it. Indianapolis able to knock it away. Michael Reyes, who now is flaring off to the right. In for Corrales. Luis inside now. Napolis taking that effort. Well off in the end. And here comes the substitution for Cuba. 30-year-old Armando Coronel. Just his 22nd appearance. Plays for Camagüey, who won their first ever Cuban title in the 100th season of the Cuban League. Just this last May. He'll be coming on to replace Levan Perez. And Johansson able to hold it up. Brad Evans once again making a big run up the right. Really wants that long switch.
Jurgen Klinsmann is down on the touchline now, screaming at his players to go forward. He does not want this game to peter out into a nothing second half. He wants the United States to keep the foot on the pedal, which he should do.
Evans for Zardes. Zardes cuts it back. Center ball, Michael Bradley. His shot is kicked away by Guerra out for a U.S. corner.
And the shouting by Jurgen Klinsmann worked. He urged his players to get the ball forward. Zardes makes a very good run up the right-hand side. Michael Bradley with a trailing run. Decent touch. Good save by the goalkeeper. Corner to the United States.
Bradley once again to take. This time an out swinger. Bedoya jogs in as a short option. Bradley. Header along by Dispe. Foot race to the loose ball. Clavelo's there first for Cuba. Corona slides in and commits the foul. There's Coronel, the substitute. And Luis, the switch. Roberto Gomez has it now. It's near Napolis. Inside for Coronel. Reyes making the run. Michael Reyes will get there. Doesn't have much of an angle. Able to hold it up. 3 white shirts around him now. Reyes able to keep it and reset for Jorge Clavelo. Vaquero gets it back from Coronel. Coronel gets the cross away. Alvarado intercepts. Bedoya able to control. And again, moments of danger, moments of promise for Cuba. Corona dumped to the turf. Referee could have played advantage, pulls it back, and a yellow card upcoming. And Joe Corona remains down. Nice there, Annapolis, the guilty party.
Well, Annapolis is just a little bit late. I think he was trying to do both, get a little bit of the ball and the player. Referee again, correct decision with the yellow card. Getting back to Jurgen, John, he's absolutely right to get up and start shouting his players to keep the tempo high. But that's what Michael Bradley, maybe Clint Dempsey, even Alvarado, I know he's young. He's one that is very good on the ball, very technically gifted. Lift the players, the spirit. I know it's 4-0, but keep going, make something out of the second half.
Reyes on the cutback. Gonzalez trying to stay with him stride for stride. Can't take him off the ball. Reyes plays it through. It was too far for Corrales making the run. Thumbs up from the coach, Earl Gonzalez. Again, Cuba wins the ball in the center. Michael Reyes looking to catch Guzan off his line. Luis can't hold it up. Bradley knocks it away. Johansson on the run. Bradley's ball under hit. Corrales on the overlap for Vaquero. Coronel comes to meet it. Corona shoulders him off the ball. Out for a U.S. throw.
Well, we're starting to see little remnants of what we saw when the teams were countering against the United States in the group stages. The transitional play isn't as good. Brad Evans has gone forward a couple times, which is good. When's the last time that we've seen Fabian Johnson forward?
Evans for Johansson, and it'll get into the goalkeeper, Guerra. Past the hour mark in Baltimore, Maryland. Goals from Clint Dempsey, Jossie Zardes, Aaron Johansson, and Omar Gonzalez, his first international goal. Giving the U.S. a 4-0 scoreline over Cuba. Fabian Johnson able to sweep that up for Guzan. And the U.S. looking good to advance to Wednesday night semifinal of the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. The second quarterfinal of the doubleheader here in Baltimore between Haiti and Jamaica. 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 2. That would be the opponent for the U.S. Will it be a rematch against Haiti? We've had a very competitive game against the U.S. in Foxborough in the group stage.
They did indeed. They surprised everyone in the group stages. Their counterattacking ability is very good.
That could be a very fun game to watch.
Absolutely will be. Would be, I should say. They still have Jamaica to get through.
And I meant more that Haiti-Jamaica is going to be a good game, but
oh, absolutely.
That too. Bradley brings it down.
They're all going to be good games.
It's been one of the nice things of this Gold Cup. They've all been competitive, just about all at least. Evans clipping it in. Great ball for Johansson. In the traffic. Can't find it. Zardes blocked by the traffic. Bedoya controls. Corona and Bradley each leaving it for the other. Corona takes the touch. His cross is blocked by Vaquero.
All started by that run of Johansson and a very good weighted ball into him. Lays it back for Zardes. Just blocked. Good power on the shot.
Bradley. All the way across for Evans. Numbers in the box. Evans cross. Johansson's being dragged down. Penalty for the United States. Yellow card on Horta. And who will take this to try to make it 5-0?
Well, Dempsey's grabbed the ball first, but there's good cross into the box. 3 runners into the box, causing all sorts of problems for the Cuban defenders. Horta loses his marker. Drags Johansson down. Definite penalty.
Well, Clint Dempsey already with a goal today, already with 4 in the tournament, trying to pull further ahead for the Golden Boot of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. We saw him chip one in against Guatemala in Nashville in the warm-up game. Just about the same thing here. 5-0 United States.
Well, Clint Dempsey showed confidence when he took the first one in the first game, chipped it down the middle, and he's done the same again. Very bold, very brave. You can do that when it's 4-0. He did it when the scores were much tighter. Well done, Clint Dempsey. 5-0 U.S.
And 5 goals at this tournament for Clint Dempsey. 2 ahead now of Mexico's Uribe Peralta. That was the total that both Chris Wondolowski and Landon Donovan had at the last Gold Cup. Well, that was sort of the whole point, wasn't it? Or at least a big part of it, Jurgen Klinsmann's mind, taking the armband off of Clint Dempsey, giving it to Michael Bradley, letting him just focus on scoring goals. Well, he has.
A lot of bad press before the tournament started. A lot of good press happening now. 5 goals in 4 games for him.
Opportunity now to chase a hat trick. Dempsey on the ball from Evans. Dempsey driving on, kept it on one. Is poked away by Dispay. Ball in the end as Cuba tried to counter. 46 now, 11 away from Landon Donovan's U.S. team record. A record that Jurgen Klinsmann hinted at the press conference yesterday he'd very much like to see Dempsey chased down before his international career is done. Michael Reyes dancing on the ball with Evans, who goes to ground, can't win it off him. Reyes couldn't curl the shot in, but again a flash of the quality that he has.
Well, it's decent feet, but you're 1v5 there. Very difficult. Does very well to carve himself out. A little bit of space. Shot is errant. Does not trouble Brad Guzan.
The roll in the background is for DeAndre Edlin. 3rd and final change for the United States. Fabian Johnson taking his time and coming off. That pass intercepted by Ortson. Looking for Johansson. Looks like Bedoya has gone back to left back, and Yedlin is now at the right side of the midfield diamond. Here's Bedoya defending now on Corrales. Vaquero has the ball. Corino wants it. Flipped in for Corino, trying to sneak it behind. Hesitation. Guzan able to smother it as Alvarado gave up. Let's take a look at our scoring summary. Powered by 7-Up. 5 of them for the U.S. today. 2 from Clint Dempsey. A first international goal for Omar Gonzalez. Goal and an assist for Aaron Johansson. Michael Bradley on the ball with 2 assists in the tournament now to match the tournament lead. Dempsey, the return for Zardes from the byline. Cuts it back. Clint Dempsey looking to spin. Knocked away by Orta. People preparing another substitution as Michael Reyes is running at Alejandro Bedoya, now the left back for the U.S. Reyes cutting it back. Resetting top of the box. Daniel Luis didn't seem terribly interested in chasing after that. Rather quickly for Johansson. Could not have been more offside knowing that Bradley had his head up to play the ball. There's DeAndre Edlin. Corona the return. Yedlin with the speed. DeAndre Edlin looks at his options. The cross laid right in there, in between the targets. Out for a U.S. throw. And here comes Cuba's second substitution of the day. Yamani Lopez getting set to come on. Started the opener against Mexico. Hasn't been on the field since. He'll replace Daniel Luis. So only 2 healthy and available field players left on the bench for the final substitution for Cuba today. Yedlin has it back from Evans. All the space and time in the world. Now the cross intercepted. Trying to set up Dempsey there. Dispay read it well. Chipped ahead. Offside. Michael Reyes.
Yeah, I think Reyes just mistimed his run there. Decent opportunity to counterattack. Just like all hope has been drained from this Cuban team.
Johansson switching it across for Yedlin. 2 defenders around him. He's trying to split them both. Able to pull it off, sort of. And in the end, Guerra picks it up.
I think it was another good substitution by Jurgen Klinsmann. Fresh legs. We know about his pace, and it did look like Fabian Johnson was tiring a little bit. Hadn't gone forward the entire second half. DeAndre Adams, that little bit of spark and creativity, already gotten forward 3 times in dangerous crossing positions.
Tackle there and a foul committed by Corona. DeAndre Yedlin, will we see him with Tottenham in a week and a half at the MLS All-Star game? That's one of the big questions for him, is where he's going to be at. Will it be with Spurs? Will it be on loan? He told us earlier this tournament that they've sort of left him alone as it's chipped in offside, Michael Reyes. And they'll let him know after the tournament what his future holds. Let's get the inside word with Julie Stewart-Binks, powered by 7-Up. Another young player, a lot of eyes on him, Ventura Alvarado, in this tournament. Julie, what can you tell us?
Yes, John, Jurgen Klinsmann told us there's still a learning curve for Ventura Alvarado. He wanted him to see him get more forward, have more confidence to bring the ball up, which he did decently well in the first half, but Brad Guzan has to keep reminding him to do it in the second. Alvarado told us that focusing for a full 90 minutes has been his biggest struggle, and I'm sure he'll be looking to guard against losing that concentration.
Well, here's Johansson cutting through, back to his feet. Johansson for Michael Bradley. Poked away by Vaquero. Michael Reyes looking to switch it long for Corrales. Alejandro Bedoya is there in time. Ventura Alvarado, 22 years of age, born in Phoenix to Mexican parents, so he could have chose either. Chose the United States, said he's been having a lot of trash talking back and forth with his Club America teammates in Mexico, including Oribe Peralta, setting up a potential U.S.-Mexico final.
Yeah, he didn't use the polite words. He said he was getting a lot of grief. Absolutely did. It was interesting when I asked him what the big difference playing at Club America and then coming to international. He said how much more athletic the United States players are. He said the older the player is in Mexico, the less he runs. In the United States, he said it's completely different.
Johansson cutting inside. Michael Bradley thinking about the shot. Blocked by all the traffic. He's a player with a very bright future, but how has he done? I mean, has he locked down a starting spot going forward for the U.S.?
I don't think he's locked down the starting spot. I think Jurgen Klinsmann would be the first to admit there's big competition for places. I have liked his quality on the ball. I think he made a mistake in the Honduras game. He was also partially to blame for the goal that he conceded against Panama. However, everyone makes mistakes. It's how you deal with the mistakes. You don't want one mistake to cost 2, 3, and 4, and he's not done that. I think he's regarded very highly by Jurgen Klinsmann, by the other players, so hopefully for the United States he has a very long and bright future.
He said it's been a bit of a whirlwind. It was just in December that he got a starting spot as Club America won the Apertura title in Mexico. Then all of a sudden he's making his debut for the U.S. and he's been a regular since the games in March.
He's got to be a sponge right now, John. He's got to learn and learn and learn to take everything in. He's a young player, and he's got a great opportunity in front of him.
DeAndre Yedlin running forward. Napolis trying to stay with him. Yedlin cuts it back, splits inside. Yedlin now running around Clavello. The cross sent behind U.S. corner.
But DeAndre Yedlin is getting used to this right wing spot. We've seen a little bit of skill earlier, another little bit of it, and then a burst of pace. Clavello just lucky enough to get a block on it. He's down injured. That's 4 runs now for DeAndre Yedlin since he come on. Exactly what Jurgen will have wanted.
All right, Clavello just holding that right shoulder. They already had the substitution up. It won't be for him anyway. It'll be Alberto Gomez coming off. 3rd and final change for Cuba today. Felix Guerra made his debut in 2012 for Cuba, though this is his first Gold Cup. And he comes on now. Yedlin standing over the corner. Michael Bradley out of frame just to his left, who he plays it short to. Bradley hooks it in. Gonzalez attacking, and that's out for a goal kick. Well, tomorrow the quarterfinals of the 2015 CONCACAF Gold Cup, sponsored by Chevrolet, continue. It's a doubleheader on Fox Sports 1 as Group C winner Trinidad and Tobago take on Panama. Mexico then against Costa Rica. Coverage begins at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So again, a doubleheader here today. Haiti and Jamaica on the way in a little bit on Fox Sports 2. Doubleheader tomorrow in East Rutherford. And all 4 semifinalists will be at the Georgia Dome for a doubleheader on Wednesday night before the circus finishes in Philadelphia next Sunday in the 2015 CONCACAF Gold Cup final. And will it be the United States and Mexico with a spot on the Confederations Cup for the U.S. on the line?
I'll obviously be watching all the games, but really have my eyes on that Mexico-Costa Rica game.
Trinidad and Tobago with that sensational 4-4 draw, the last-second goal Wednesday night in one of the wildest games we've ever seen. It is a wide-open tournament going forward. Zardes beaten off the ball by Coronel. This is Dispay moving forward. His shot is well wide in the end. Inside of the final 15 minutes now in Baltimore. And Jurgen Klinsmann just trying to keep the tempo and the energy up, but this really does match up quite well with what he told us earlier today he wanted to see.
Absolutely. Wanted the United States to start quick. He wanted to get an early goal, 2 if possible. Wanted to play in Cuba's half of the field as much as possible.
Bradley picks up the defensive header. Michael Bradley looking for Dempsey. He's going to get there in the end, and he's going to get his hat trick. Clint Dempsey, 3 goals. The United States 6. It is an absolute rout here in Baltimore.
Well, once again, the United States shows their superiority. Just a straightforward ball. Very poor defending. Back clearance by the Cuban defender. Michael Bradley picks it up. Clint Dempsey doesn't give up on it. Hat trick for Clint Dempsey. 6 goals in the tournament now. 6-0 United States.
And exactly as he would have drawn it up, going around the defender outside of his right as he was going around.
Absolutely.
Clint Dempsey is continuing to show at the age of 32 where he stands as one of the, if not the premier attacking player in American soccer.
And you can check off another thing on Jurgen Klinsmann's list. He really wanted his strikers to get goals tonight. Now he's got Clint Dempsey with a hat trick. Johansson with a great finish. Zardes with a goal.
Six goals in the last 4 for Clint Dempsey for his country. Peaking at the very right time as the tournament heads towards its climax. Here's Jorge Corrales for Cuba.
I don't think people are asking now, John, if he should be here or not.
Well, in the last time the U.S. played Cuba in a quarterfinal, 2003, Landon Donovan had 4 goals that day as the U.S. won 5-0. So Dempsey, another target to chase as Zardes cuts it back on the outside. Corona across for Yedlin. Yedlin looking to hook in the cross. Johansson attacking, and Orta commits the foul.
Another decent ball in by DeAndre. Johansson tries to get across his defender, just can't do it. Shoves him in the back. Referee's correct to blow his whistle.
Well, this is record-setting stuff for the United States. A 6-0 margin of victory in the Gold Cup. Michael Reyes offside flag is up. It's approaching actually the biggest ever win for the United States, which was an 8-0 defeat of Barbados in 2008. It matches Cuba's biggest ever loss at a Gold Cup. And for them, it's the second time in the tournament they've had this scoreline against them. And confirmation that is Clint Dempsey's first ever hat trick for the United States. And he had a fourth. Yedlin trying to set him up, knocked away by the defender Vaquero.
But as a striker, Clint Dempsey and even Aaron Johansson, Wondolowski, Gordon, whoever plays, they should know the records of the other United States players in the past history, and they should try to break the records. That's what you are as a striker. You're selfish. You want to get out there and you want to get goals. It doesn't matter if you're up 6-0. You still want to continue to add to your goal tally.
The wave making its way around M&T Bank Stadium as Michael Bradley stands over this free kick. Henry Bejarano, the referee, just being proactive on some of the pushing and shoving. Bradley to the back post. Guerra holds off. Header sent along. Felix Guerra. Bradley tripping it in. Johansson couldn't quite catch up to it. Tispe running along. Regardless of the opponent, sort of what you're saying, for a U.S. team, which they're hearing the criticism throughout the group stage, this has to feel pretty good.
Absolutely does. Your job is to get through the group stages, and yes, it wasn't perfect. Jurgen said that. The players have said that. And they were playing very good in the second halves, and they weren't starting the games right. Well, they corrected that today, and they started the game right, and they found themselves up 4-0 at halftime.
Tispe. Corino back out wide. Napoles with the ball. Napoles beyond Reyes to the backside, looking for Corrales and a late runner, and Bedoya did really well with that touch to carry it away. Dempsey. Back from Bradley. Johansson makes the run. Instead it's Bedoya back for Dempsey. He's got Yedlin on the near side. Angles it in. DeAndre Yedlin surveying his options. Vaquero comes to meet him. The cross. Dempsey, tangle of legs. Zardes able to hold it in. Support from Bedoya. Johansson, or Dempsey rather, slow to get up with their deflected cross. That'll be a U.S. corner.
Again, DeAndre Yedlin getting into a very good crossing position. No penalty for me. Clint Dempsey just tries to get around his marker. Both going for the ball. Corner kick to the United States. DeAndre Yedlin's been taking up some very good positions on that right wing since he's come on.
Once again, Michael Bradley, already 2 assists today, going for goal. Was that a touch from Garrett? Was to keep it out. It'll be another corner. We saw him score direct from a corner against Panama at the beginning of the year. Those 3 U.S. players trying to make life difficult for Dios Vélez-Guerra to do anything about it. Bradley again driven right in, and Guerra couldn't get anything on it. It's going to be another corner on the opposite side as Corrales got a touch. At this point, why not?
Well, he is trying to score on a lot of these. Put in a danger area. Goalkeeper goes up, makes a meal of it because he misread the cross. Another corner kick to the U.S.
The player is down for Cuba as Bradley takes his time coming across. Angel Horta, center back who gave away that penalty earlier in the second half. A player who's was given the opportunity because their captain, long serving Inier Marquez, was unavailable to go.
He doesn't look comfortable.
Well, they're out of subs, Cuba, if he can't continue.
Cramp.
Dr. Joe Macknick, our former FIFA match commissioner. Haven't talked a lot about the referee today. That's a good thing, perhaps?
Well, we haven't had a water break either, John, and maybe we should have had, because we see players cramping up and taking water bottles onto the field during this break. There's some shade on the field and temperature has gone down, but it's still very hot out there.
And he's still not happy enough. Bejarano. He wants the training staff and Horta to get further behind the byline there before Yedlin plays it for Bradley. Bradley hooks in the cross. Guerra flying through, gets a punch, a real tangle of bodies, an open net to shoot out. 3 men down in the box, and the whistle now does go for the referee. Dios Vélez-Guerra, the Cuba goalkeeper. Gonzalez.
Well, this time the goalkeeper does make the correct decision, comes out, punches the ball, perhaps the defender headed it as well, and takes a big knock from Bedoya. Then into Gonzalez. But I think if on target, I believe the referee would have allowed that goal. Alvarado, sorry.
It was Yamani Lopez who blocked Corona's follow-up shot. Alvarado and Gonzalez both wincing a little bit, but back in the play, as is Dios Vélez-Guerra. The brave goalkeeping. The goalkeeper's had a lot to do in this tournament. Cuba team that once again, second straight tournament, despite the odds, reaching the quarterfinal stage. That dramatic 1-0 win over Guatemala on the final day of the group stage, earning a third place spot. They've got Olympic qualifying to look forward to. They've got a 2-game series coming up in August to try to qualify for the final round, which will be in the U.S. in October. So just trying to keep it up there. They're already out of World Cup qualifying, Cuba. Clavello just being looked at by the referee. It's a free kick for Cuba. That becomes one of the interesting questions going forward, which was talked about at the press conference yesterday, as there is an attempt to increasingly normalize relations between the U.S. and Cuba. Could we see some of these players, Michael Reyes, Adrian Diz-Pay, some of these young players who have looked good, could we see them in MLS down the road?
Possibly Reyes. I don't see too many more. Martinez possibly as well. Now I believe he's one that's done some interviews here stateside. So maybe 1 or 2. In the years to come, definitely. I think as the Cubans develop their soccer and they get better and better and better, develop more younger players, then yes, I think MLS will start having a look at their players.
And we've seen countries like Costa Rica, Panama, Honduras really benefit from having their players in MLS, as Dios Vélez-Guerra has to clean that up the ball for Johansson. The rising tides in general of teams in CONCACAF, as evidenced at this Gold Cup. Trinidad and Tobago winning the group above Mexico. Haiti qualifying above Panama and Honduras.
World Cup qualifying is difficult, John. Some of those away trips, very hard. You play very difficult conditions. Sometimes the fields aren't great, sometimes it's weather.
This is Corrales on the end of that ball. Corrales is cross. Alvarado couldn't deal with it. The shot is blocked. Gonzalez had to slide across to help. Evans rather. And Cuba have a corner.
Well, it looked a little bit of a tired mistake there by Alvarado, not getting himself in the correct position. United States just able to deal with it.
First corner of the game for Cuba. Coming in the 90th minute, Jorge Corrales sweeping it in deep. Corona helps it along. And to finish your point, the U.S. will enter in the third round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying this November in a group stage. The draw for that group stage, as the cross is hooked in, sent away, will be in St. Petersburg, Russia. Just a couple of days from now, actually. And it will be a very difficult road once again for the United States in an increasingly very difficult CONCACAF region to make sure they are in Russia in 2018. 2-minute stoppage time. U.S. trying to go a step closer to getting to Russia in 2017. The FIFA Confederations Cup, the dress rehearsal for the World Cup. If they are to win this Gold Cup, they go there automatically. If someone else wins, it'd be a one-game playoff this fall. Dispay on the return from Michael Reyes, who had some lovely skill to begin this sequence in the midfield. Reyes able to keep it on Evans. Overhit. Corrales keeps it in play. Coronel. Corrales again. His cross looking for Reyes. Headed along by Brad Evans. Space sent away by Bradley. Clint Dempsey with a hat trick today. The U.S. besting their biggest ever win in a CONCACAF Gold Cup, exactly what they were hoping to get done.
Absolutely. Jurgen Klinsmann, so he'll be delighted at the start. This is the first time in this tournament that they've played a first half like they did today. People on the goals. The goal toward Clint Dempsey, a hat trick. Some very good combination play, especially with Aron Johansson. Jurgen Klinsmann's going to be going to Atlanta, a very happy coach.
Question is, who will follow? Haiti and Jamaica in about an hour on Fox Sports 2. Second of the doubleheader here in Baltimore to determine their opponent in Wednesday night semifinal at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Alvarado takes the elbow from Michael Reyes. As the 40,000 some odd fans here in Baltimore rise to their feet to give an ovation to the United States. Oh, Gonzalez and Cuba, a tough way to go out. A brave battle for them. A sigh of relief for the U.S. A chance to flex their